Hi friends, this is Prashant. Today I'm going to start with a video in which I will discuss with you all the important things that you should take care when we are going for physics exam. So we have around 4 days for holiday for physics and how to utilize that 4 days in a proper productive way so that in less effort we can do more work. Now our target is to get 80 on 80. Now this is not very easy subject like other subject where you can score easily 80 on 80. Now the strategy to get 80 on 80 should be very clear. Now you have a 15 minutes reading time. In that 15 minutes reading time, you have to utilize that reading time in proper way. Means you have to select any 4 questions from section B or section 2. Don't start with section 1. Section 1 is compulsory. So it is very difficult for that moment in that 15 minutes, earlier 15 minutes, to take attention of entire paper. Rather, I will suggest don't open section 1, directly open section 2. In that you select 4 best questions. Like best questions means where you don't have to think anything, right? कि ये क्वेश्चन आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है 100% जिसमें assurance है ऐसे questions हम लोग select करें. That is the first thing. So in that 15 minutes you are finishing only that much. Now when we start with section 1, now the entire 80 mark paper you have to finish in 1 hour 30 minutes. होता है, you can finish that paper in 1 hour 30 minutes if you are prepared properly, right? So first 15 minutes you are giving to select which question I'm selecting from section 2. That is done. Now section 1 is compulsory, right? So question 1 15 mark MCQ, question 2 15 mark questions, right? Now in MCQs, because since the subject is physics, you may find some questions are tricky. Obviously this is a more concept based subject, so it is expected, right? Don't panic. Suppose out of 15 questions, 15 MCQs, you are not getting 4 to 5 MCQs, say 5 MCQs nahi aa rahe, so don't worry, right? You leave space. Say you will not take more than 45 seconds per question. अगर 45 सेकेंड के ऊपर अगर क्वेश्चन अंडरस्टैंडिंग में टाइम लग रहा है, दैट मीन्स दैट क्वेश्चन इज वेरी ट्रिकी, provided you are prepared thoroughly. So I'm talking about that base only. Suppose you have not studied only and you think ki paper was very tricky, so then that is not possible, right? So if you have studied properly and if you are taking more than 45 seconds, so you're not getting that question also, don't worry, leave that question, go for another. Next, you're finished with that first 15 MCQs. Out of that you got only 10, 5 you have not attempted, right? Leave the space for that. Go with section question 2, 3, 4, right? That question 1, 2 and 3, that is section 1 done. Then in section 2, whichever you have selected earlier, finish that question. So the entire process you will finish in 1 hour 30 minutes. Now still you have 30 minutes to go through that question again. Now in that 30 question, don't go for 30 minutes, don't go for that extra question. Go for which questions you have not attempted. That means at 5 MCQs. So there may be some questions जो हमने पहले try किया लेकिन नहीं आ रहे. Go through that part. So in that process you will able to finish your entire paper properly. This is the worst strategy to get 80 on 80 in physics, right? This is just a mind game, because people will say physics is very tricky, very difficult. No, it is not that difficult. If you are studied thoroughly, you can score 95 plus marks, provided your school has given you 20 marks in internal So out of 100, you can easily score 95 plus. Now the only problem is to get that from 95 to 100 is the mind game. So for that you have to use your strategies properly. Now according to me, if you ask me, there are many people they are saying calorimetry is difficult. So skip calorimetry numerical difficult. Skip that part because it will be in section 2, because calorimetry part A, first part numericals are very easy, right? That is Q is equal to MC delta T, C is equal to Q upon M delta T, C dash is equal to M into C, power into time is equal to MC delta T, then M1 C1 bracket में T1 minus T is equal to M2 C2 bracket T minus T2. That questions are very easy. You can attempt that. But in section 2, if you find some numericals of calorimetry are tricky. If the question is familiar, then only you go for that question. If you find the question is new, don't attempt calorimetry question, right? Because in section 2, you have to select only 4 out of 6, right? So you have 2 questions as we can see option. 2 questions you can take as option. Now the next question, next part. There are many peoples they are finding this electromagnetism polarity questions are difficult. So I will suggest for them also, if you skip such questions in board paper, because there you don't have any helping hand to say whether this is right or wrong. So you do entire physics and you try to select such questions, avoid such questions of calorimetry and see electromagnetism if you are not familiar, if you are thorough with the concept, right? Because the questions they are asking in calorimetry as well as in this electromagnetism, they are repeatedly same questions. So if you are familiar with that question, you can attempt. Definitely you will get the good mark. Now this is about the question paper. Now many people will ask, should I go with extra question? I will suggest no, don't go for extra question. Whatever you have solved, just cross check that question paper answer sheet again. Check whether you have attempted each and every part, like question number 1 A, say not in question number say 2 A, there is a part small a small, that A B, all that part. So A part you have selected, B part you have skipped. So such kind of questions you have to take care, right? Now when you draw ray diagrams are very important. Around 12 to 15 marks will be there for ray diagrams. Now in ray diagrams, what we have in 4th chapter, that is refraction of light through plane surface. There is a glass slab. In that glass slab, there is a frequently asked question like lateral displacement, all that graph, all that diagram. So when you draw such diagram, take care that your incident ray and emergent ray, they are parallel to each other. Now when you draw these diagrams, ray diagrams, make sure that when you are drawing ray diagram, arrow is mentioned properly. Then you have to mention name. You have to name that each ray, incident ray, PQ, RS, and all that part, emergent ray. So that is very, very important. Next, you are drawing diagram. In that case, if the normal is there, normal is always represented by dotted line. It should not be a dark line. So it is dotted. Next, we have say 4B. In that there is a prism formula, right? Prism formula diagram. So there is a monochromatic beam of light is incident on that glass prism. So that diagram is given for angle of minimum deviation. So when it is a minimum deviation, refracted ray is parallel to base, and angle of incidence and angle of emergence is same. Next part is real depth and apparent depth, right? So you have a diagram of bending of stick, that is also there. That bending of stick diagram is frequently asked question in boards. Many people are doing mistake in that part. Just take care. Then there is a next diagram. This diagram they have asked many times in many school prelims. if a fish is looking at a tree, so for him that tree appears to be taller, right? Draw the necessary diagram and name the phenomenon responsible for this. Is a refraction of light. Don't write only refraction of light, right? Now in D part there is a total internal reflection. From diagram point of view, there are many diagrams. Many will be we can say there are questions like to turn light by 90 degree, what is the use? Turn light by 180 degree, what is the use? Then erecting prism, where it is used as a slide projector. Then you have complete the following diagram. Isosceles prism will be given, equilateral prism will be given. Then only one part of ray is given, remaining part you have to show. So in that case, just take care that there is a term called as TIR. TIR stands for total internal reflection. There are two conditions for TIR. First condition is source of light must be in denser medium and ray of light should go from what? Denser to rarer. Second condition is angle of incidence must be more than critical angle. Angle of incidence must be more than critical angle. So when you draw this diagram, these conditions you have to fulfill, right? So if the angle of incidence is more than critical, then only there is a TIR, and if it is not, then there is a refraction. So there are some questions ki what are the phenomenon at A, B, C, D, that are the edges of that prism. Accordingly you have to judge and you have to give a proper answer. Now the next question over here is give reason, right? Give reason. Acha, there is one more chapter of lens where you have convex and concave. So when you are dealing with such kind of diagrams, right? Yeah, diagram based question, read question properly, because sometimes they will ask for convex and you are drawing for concave. Such blunder will come to know once you are submitting the paper. So read question properly, especially for light, because lens is convex or concave. It makes a difference, large difference. This is exactly opposite, right? So they have asked convex, and if you are drawing for concave, so don't expect anything, right? So such blunder mistake, you should not do this. Now next topic is spectrum. So here spectrum diagram. So there is a polychromatic beam of light is incident on a glass prism. It's split into 7 constituent colors. The process is called dispersion, and the band of colors obtained is called as spectrum. Now there is a cause of dispersion, which color deviate more, which color deviate less. So here when the students are drawing this diagram, so the diagram is pathetic. So just take care that when the light enter from rarer to denser medium, it split into 7 constituent colors. So you have to show all 7. Then when it enter from glass to air, again it will bend toward the base. So that perfection should be there. And that emergent rays, they are not parallel. They will spread like this. They will spread, right? So spreading will be there. Deviation is maximum, is Vibgyor ulta. Violet ka deviation is maximum and red ka deviation is minimum, right? This is about the diagram. About ray diagram. Now there are some questions based on diagram, like first chapter, nothing great as a drawing diagram. Second chapter, there is many diagrams, like this is a question like work done by constant force, work done by variable force. So how to find the work done of constant force? So that graph is a line is parallel to displacement axis. So area under that curve will give you work done, right? Same thing for variable force, that will be your triangle. So area of triangle will be half base into height, right? Then there is a graph of total energy against height. So total energy will be on y-axis, right? You have to mention y-axis properly. X-axis, there is a displacement, right? So there are two, kinetic energy and potential energy, cross wala part. So as the displacement increases, the height will increase, that is potential energy will increase, and reverse will be for kinetic energy. Then there is a graph, there is a diagram for freely falling body, show that total energy is conserved in case of freely falling body. So point A, B, C you have to mention with the proper labeling, and there also at each point you are writing for K is equal to this, U equal to this, so total energy is equal to this. So at each and every point, your at A, B, and C, you have to mention that total energy is mgh, right? There is a now question ki oscillating pendulum. So pendulum is oscillating. So when the pendulum is at extreme position, it possesses only potential energy. Total energy is equal to mgh. When the pendulum is at mean position, it has only kinetic energy. Potential energy will be 0. And again at negative extreme, same thing, right? So this is very important part. If you go with the third chapter, so they may ask a question ki draw diagram for lever, right? Lever. So class 1, class 2, class 3, so that accordingly you have to mention. But when you draw that class 2 and class 3, arrow important, load, effort, arrow is very important. Which one is load arm, which one is effort arm, that is very important. Next is a diagram for block and tackle, right? That is pulley diagram. So here you read the question properly, whether effort is in downward direction or whether effort is in upward direction. There is a solved question, last solved question of 3B, where there are 4 pulleys but effort is in upward direction. Generally what you are drawing is for downward, so this is special question where effort is in what, upward. So such kind of question you have to pay attention properly what is exactly asked. So accordingly you plan. Now next topic is about block and tackle. So in block and tackle, if they ask when the effort is in downward direction, so there are total 3 diagrams, VR3, VR4 and VR5. So if they ask for VR5, so total number of pulleys will be 5. Upper block contain more number of pulleys as compared to lower. मतलब lower block and upper block either equal होगा या upper block contain one more, right? But it is not possible कि उल्टा कि lower block contain 3 pulleys and upper block contain 2. That is not possible. Now next topic, when you draw these diagrams of block and tackle, just make sure you are giving arrow for effort and load downward. All other arrows for tension, they are in upward direction, right? You have to mention rigid support, load, and load के नीचे arrow that indicate it is acting vertically downward. The strings which are using, that is called strands of tackle. So in that strands you have to use scale. You can't draw freehand diagram. You cannot use say stencil, because in many schools stencils are not allowed, so you have to use rounder or coin. So make sure you are drawing that diagram, it is proportional. Proportional मतलब पहले draw किया and then load नहीं आ रहा है इसके लिए load को side में लिखो, no, it is not allowed. So you have to plan these things early only, means before attempting that question. Okay, that should be the size of bigger pulley, because as you draw that diagram, say block and tackle for 5 pulleys, VR equal to 5, total number of pulleys 5. So upper block contain 3 pulleys. So सबसे पहला वाला pulley का size should be bigger, then moderate and small. This is upper block. Then you draw hook. For lower block, size will start from lower and then bigger. So in that case, just take care that that string should not coincide with the upper block or anything, right? That may reduce your marks. Then next we have already discussed about light. We are now going with the chapter sound. In sound, in first part as such there is no diagrams, but in second part there are like displacement time graph for free vibration, for forced vibration. So when you are with the free vibration, initially only x-axis, y-axis, displacement, mean meter, plus a minus a, line draw करके रखो, and then that curved part, right? Amplitude should remain same throughout. But when you are going with the damped vibration, amplitude decreases gradually but periodically decreases. So first you have to mark time period and then you reduce the amplitude. Otherwise you can draw ऐसे चलता है, no, it is not allowed, 0, you will get directly 0. That is most important. Then you have next topic like current electricity. In that current electricity, in sound part, see, you may have diagram based question, high pitch, low pitch, shrill sound, soft sound, right? Quality different, all waveform different, all that type of question can be asked. Now if we go with the current electricity, chapter number 8, important topic. So in current electricity, what we have? So first diagram is experimental verification of Ohm's law. So in that key plus minus for cell, then rheostat, then you have ammeter, voltmeter, polarity, positive, negative, all are very, very, very important, right? Then when you close that, key should be closed, you have to mention arrow for current, in which direction, if from positive to negative. Then next topic will be VI IV graph. So VI graph, when I say VI graph, so on y axis there is a voltage axis, voltage on y axis with volt SI unit, and on x axis there is a current with ampere as SI unit. So that is important. Now next will be VI graph, slope will be resistance. For IV graph, slope will be conductance. Conductance is the reciprocal of resistance, right? Now next in part B, you have a graph of diagram for series combination, parallel combination. 3 resistors are connected in series, 3 resistors are connected in parallel. That kind of question will be asked. That is important. Now in that part also you may have VI graph, IV graph, and in which they will give series and parallel. So friends, in series combination total resistance will increase, and in parallel combination total resistance will decrease. So if they have VI graph, so upper वाले का slope ज़्यादा है, तो that must be a series, and lower वाला रहेगा it is parallel. But if it is for IV graph, is उल्टा, slope will be conductance. तो conductance parallel में ज़्यादा रहेगा, series में कम रहेगा, right? It is inversible. Resistance will be more in series and less in parallel, right? Next topic will be about household circuit. In household circuit, there is a ring system. Now, generally, ring system questions are labeling type, incomplete type of question, complete that part, or which part is series, which part is parallel, or which device is connected, which is live wire, which is neutral wire, which is earth wire, that kind of questions. So my suggestion is, if this question is asked in say section 2, don't attempt this part, because this is a time consuming, right? So such kind of questions you don't attempt. But if there is no choice, then it is you have to attempt, right? So try to draw neat diagram, right? Don't do shabby work. Now next is, they may ask question like why switch is connected to live, fuse is connected to live, right? So such kind of questions, if they ask for 3 marks, then you have to draw that 4 diagrams. Okay, switch connected in live, right? Before, after, that kind of question, right? Same thing for fuse, so 4 diagrams are required. Next will be diagram for we can say diagram based question can be asked. So you have that first part of 10th chapter, key local substation from this, then that part means 11 kilovolt, it is increased to 132, from 132 step down, that all that places name a place, ABCD name they can give, and accordingly you have to select, right, which type of transformer is used in this precision, why, which material is used, why this is only used, why not this. I see the kind of question can be asked, right? This is about the chapter 10. If you go with the electromagnetism, there are many diagram based questions. Like I told you in part A, there is a snow rule, right? First is a snow rule, then you have a clock rule, right? You have Fleming's left hand rule, Fleming's right hand rule. So whenever they use word induced, then it is Fleming's right hand rule. or Lenz's law. Whenever they say current carrying conductor placed in a uniform magnetic field in the direction of force, that is Fleming's left hand rule, right? Then you may have a question like SI unit of SI unit of magnetic field is Newton per ampere meter, Weber per meter square, then Tesla, and this kind of questions can be also asked in this. Now we'll go with the part B of this chapter. In this chapter you have a DC motor diagram. So two-dimensional diagram is very important. In our book it is given at 3 dimension, but if you observe, if you turn a page, there are 4 diagrams in 2 dimension. So out of that, first diagram is very important, that they will ask for drawing. So that is very important diagram. Next will be AC generator. You have done DC motor, AC generator. So out of these two, definitely एक तो पक्का आने वाले, right? These are AC generator. So then function of each part, like split ring, slip ring, carbon brushes, right? What type of conversion is there? That kind of questions can be asked. Or diagram based question also they may ask boards, because in physics every year they are doing something different. So not necessarily something different, मतलब difficulty हो, you read that part question twice, because many time जो question पूछते उसके answers question में ही दिए रहते, right? Now we'll go with the next chapter, that is calorimetry. Calorimetry में calorimeter का diagram according to me this year they may ask, because बहुत सालों से नहीं आ रहे, they must draw diagram for calorimeter. So calorimeter में important part, that wooden jacket, then the vessel, region between that watt, then upper lid, then there are 2 openings, one for thermometer, other for stirrer. So these points are very important. Next will be the graph of energy against time or temperature against time, all that part. So just take care when you draw these diagrams, right? Now next chapter is about radioactivity. So in the radioactivity, there are diagrams like deflection of electric field, magnetic field, so alpha, beta, gamma. So they will name A, B, C, name A, give properties of A, name B, properties of B, and all that kind of question. So whether it is electric field or magnetic field, concept is different. So electric field mein working is different, magnetic field mein working is different. So just read that question properly when you are dealing with such type of diagram. Now this is about the diagrams. Now abhi which questions, which type of numericals they can ask. So in boards, majority numericals or questions are from book back only. Hardly around 5% questions or 5 to 10% questions are from different parts. Say if you see ki they will ask relation between kinetic energy, linear momentum, so that it will remain the same. But they will not ask relation, they will show that k is equal to p square upon 2. So that kind of question will be asked. मतलब सीधा नहीं खाएंगे, उल्टा घुमा के खिलाएंगे. That is what is a physics. So don't panic when you are dealing with physics. Don't panic, because when you panic ना, you will tend to do mistake, and 100% mistake तो होना ही है. अच्छा, अभी the important things is what precaution I should take apart from these two. मैंने जो बताया उसके अलावा, तो एक तो we have numericals. So numerical में you have to write data. Data में conversion है कि नहीं, मतलब there are many places you have to convert, but there are some places like force के numericals है. There are see meter scale के दिया है कि uniform meter rule is pivoted at 58 centimeter mark, right? Then weight of 20 GF is attached at one of the end. What is the weight of the meter rule? So such kind of question we no need to convert. Keep everything in as it is, right? Keep everything as it is, because it's a comparison. Now when you are solving this part, if suppose you are doing some mistake, so cancel that part and again rewrite. Don't do that overwriting part, so they may cut your marks, because in ICC rules they are very strict about this part, overwriting, right? So avoid that part. So when you draw when you do this numerical, units are very important. Suppose there is a question divided into 3 parts. So each part is having certain unit. Suppose you are not writing unit in तीनों में, you will get 0. Because the rule says each part, each mistake carry 1 mark. So वो problem हो जाए. So just take care of units. So there are around 15 physical quantities like force में, in the first chapter force, Newton, kgf, gf, right है. फिर moment of force का ऐसा unit is Newton meter. Then you have second chapter work energy, joule. Then power is watt, right, which is joule per second. Then your momentum, linear momentum, kilogram meter per second, yeah, Newton second. Then you have third chapter में I don't think कोई physical quantity जिसका unit है. Then fourth chapter is a light, fifth light, sixth light, seventh you have distance meter, velocity meter per second, right, nothing else. अच्छा, intensity of sound का unit आएगा, it is watt per meter square, right, this is something different. Then you have 8th chapter, you have current, electricity, current is in ampere, SI unit, फिर milliampere, ampere, conversion is very important. Then you have resistance is in ohm, right, potential difference volt. Then next topic will be we have topic like current, resistance, volt. Acha, then commercial unit of electrical energy is kilowatt hour, right, how it is related to joule. So 1 kilowatt hour is 3.6 into 10 raised to 6 joule, right, that kind of question can be asked. Then you have a topic like we can say current part B, potential difference का unit volt, EMF का unit, right. फिर you have resistance is in ohm, right. Next topic is household, nothing will be there. Then electromagnetism, magnetic field का unit है, 3 unit है, Weber per meter square, which is Newton per ampere meter, which is also called as what, Tesla. Then magnetic flux का unit is Tesla, SI unit is SI unit of magnetic flux is Weber, WEBER, and magnetic field is Weber per meter square, which is called as Tesla, which is Newton per ampere meter. Then after that you have calorimetry, SI, the calorimetry heat का SI unit is joule. फिर specific heat capacity joule per kilogram per Kelvin, thermal capacity joule per Kelvin, specific latent heat joule per kg, right. Then you have radioactivity, I think nothing is there as such for units, right. So all these things about units, we have discussed about ray diagram, we have discussed about give reason. Acha, now the one more topic is left, which is called give reason. So in give reason type questions, suppose give reason is of center of gravity, why racing car has broad and heavy base. So you have to mention that ki center of gravity, when you make a broad and heavy base, center of gravity lowers. By lowering that center of gravity, stability will be more for that car, because if that car is traveling at a speed of around 400-300 km per hour, so at sharp turn it may topple. So to avoid that, its base is made broad. So this kind of questions घुमा फिरा के भी पूछेंगे तो भी final answer will be the same. Now next topic will be about the next topic is about, we can say अभी what are the application type question. तो बहुत सारे जन बोलते हैं कि बहुत application type आते हैं. It is not बहुत सारे application type आते हैं. You have not read the question textbook properly, because many questions what they are saying as application based, they are mentioned already in book. So अगर आप textbook properly read करोगे तो maximum marks score कर सकते हो, right, that is one thing. अभी now once my paper is done, तो मुझे क्या करना है. So you have to recheck again and again, because when you recheck there may be some mistake जो skip हुए रहते हैं, वो मिलेंगे. अच्छा, what about definitions? Definition laws should be as it is. Generally defined part they are avoiding, but sometime बहुत easy paper है तो they cannot define this. So you can't state this law. So state defined law should be as it is. Although meaning is same, मतलब same है, तो हम अपने words में नहीं चलता है. You have to stick to textbook only, right? Now friends, that's it about this say 4 days how to plan. अच्छा, अभी प्लानिंग में कैसा होगा कि फर्स्ट we have that from say 4 days we have, will not consider 5 days, 4 days. So in that 4 days, first day, don't uh, waste your time. You take a rest, around 2 hours sleep properly, and then you start with the chapters which are difficult to you. Like those chapters you are weak, you start with that chapter first. Don't do the chapters which you have already done. No, you start with the chapters after say current electricity, household, electromagnetism, calorimetry, radioactivity. Do such chapters, right? This will vary from person to person, and this is the in general, right? The next day, what you do now, you try to finish your entire portion in 2 days. You think कि paper हमारा not after 4 days, after 2 days ही है. Once you do that part now, you will get ample of time to revise many things. Like don't take much time to revise, because when you are going through this chapter, right, don't solve all numericals. I have already sent in groups which numericals you have to practice, because these are the numericals जिसमें बहुत सारे टाइम्स वेरी है कवर किए हुए, that kind of questions covered, right? Now about attending lectures, so suggestion is, if you have done thoroughly, no need to attend offline lectures, because don't waste your time. But those people जो घर पे करने ही वाले नहीं, for them we are arranging offline lectures. But when you are coming for offline lecture, don't expect कि सब कुछ सर करेंगे. You come with your doubts, right? Don't say कि नहीं सब आता है या कुछ नहीं आता, because that is a time where everyone is panic, right? Your parents, me, right? So everyone will be panic, because that is the situation. So in that part, what will happen? So you may lose temper, unnecessarily रोना धोना होगा, and unnecessarily you will lose, मतलब time waste होगा. So better, if you are coming for lectures, be prepared. Whatever say you are prepared for one day, you have suppose 10-15 questions, bring that questions, will solve. Online help is available, so whenever is required is available. But don't attempt questions like कुछ भी क्वेश्चन आते हैं. There are many schools, they are asking useless questions, मतलब just to make physics more difficult, they are asking questions from 12th standard, IB board, CBSE board, whichever is there in our book. Because if you observe our papers, board papers, they are very standard. Many people think कि 100 क्यों नहीं आते, because 100 क्यों नहीं आते, because strategies वो अप्लाई नहीं करते, वो अपना दिमाग लगाते. What I'm saying, you go as per my suggestion, 100% you will tackle, you will get more marks. Definitely जो स्कोर करा उससे अच्छे मार्क्स आएंगे. 80 चांसेस इज मोर. एंड एवरीवेयर नॉट नेसेसरी कि हर टाइम पेपर डिफिकल्ट होगा. हाँ, दोज हु हैव नॉट स्टडीड एट ऑल, फॉर देम द पेपर विल बी वर्स्ट ओनली. आई एम नॉट सेइंग डिफिकल्टी विल बी वर्स्ट, because you have not studied throughout year. But those people who already studied, for them this paper will be a cakewalk, very easy. But don't be under wrong impression कि मुझे इसमें 80 मार्क्स आया, 75 आया, 76, तो बोर्ड में भी इतना आएगा. नो, बिकॉज that impatience part will lose 4 to 5 marks, because some part you may skip. बहुत easy है तो भी problem है, बहुत difficult तो भी problem. So the paper is difficult, think properly, select proper questions and go through it. And if the paper is very easy, then it is very dangerous, because you will tend to do mistakes. Maximum mistakes will be there if the paper is very easy, right? That's it about this video. If you have anything, then you can ask me. And if you have any doubts, so I will be arranging extra doubt solving lectures, but maximum will be online. That's it for this video. Thank you so much. Bye.